Hello, friends. Russia's two largest cities, Moscow and St. Petersburg, the Muslim holiday Eid al-Adha, one of those moments when you suddenly feel like a guest in Russia.
Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
In Putin's motorcade in Kazakhstan, they spotted an electronic warfare vehicle and an armored truck with a mount for an anti-aircraft machine gun. Listen, General Gerasimov, are you sure this is going to help me? News from the category Modern Problems Require Modern Solutions. Location: Moscow, Chertonovo District. A residential courtyard was repaired using gravestone slabs from a cemetery.
Город Москва, улица Красного Маяка, дом 6. Вот у нас проходят благоустроительные работы. Сделали площадку, сейчас засыпают грунт. И вот что нам привезли вместе с грунтом. Кладбищенский памятник. Кусок истлевшей одежды. Вот железка, явно был крестик погнутый. Все уже засыпали вокруг дома, высыпали около детской площадки. Вот плиточки, которыми могилы обкладывают.
In the decaying West, children play in playgrounds with ordinary sand, but in great flourishing Russia, children get to play with funeral soil from cemeteries.
Все уже засыпали вокруг дома. А вот сейчас я покажу кульминацию. Вот, люди идут и ахают. Вот, пожалуйста, кусок памятника.
And when local residents start planting tulips there, I won't be surprised at all if they dig up an actual coffin too. Moscow. A Mi-26T military transport helicopter lifts a Panzer surface-to-air missile system onto the roof of a business center. As the classics say, the closer an empire gets to collapse, the higher it has to lift its air defense systems by helicopter. Salary arrears to public sector workers have grown by 35% in just 1 month and by 94% over the year. The total debt owed to the very people who stuffed ballot boxes by the stack for Putin and his party, United Russia, has reached 2.8 billion rubles. Friends, now is the perfect moment to hit the like button. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. Thank you. Location: occupied Crimea. There is no gasoline in the region. People are preparing to switch to bicycles.
Что, севастопольцы, ситуация с бензином. Я так думаю, что мы скоро будем заправляться на чем? Не на чем, по нулям. Плохо видно, с другой стороны. Короче, все. Пересаживаемся. Пересаживаемся, я так понимаю, мы, наверное, пересаживаемся точно на велосипед. Ну, так будет видно. Вот, видите? Все, за здоровый образ жизни на велосипеды. Топлива нет.
Traffic jam on the Kerch Bridge. On the left, 2022. On the right, the second half of 2026. Who said Putin is a bad president? When it comes to promoting cycling, who could have done more? News from the category Russian construction is the most reliable in Russia. Location: Primorsky Krai. A bridge that hadn't been repaired for decades suddenly, to everyone's great surprise, collapsed.
27 мая 2026 год. Мост на Сиваковку, Приморский край, Харольский район. Обвалился. Всё, моста нет, подъезда к Сиваковке нет. Хлеб теперь не привезут, ничего не привезут.
My friend, we have no time to repair roads and bridges. All our energy is being spent on shelling Ukraine. Dmitry Semizorov, a top executive at Uralvagonzavod, has been arrested for allegedly stealing and cashing out 50 million rubles. He now faces up to 10 years in prison. Right now, he is probably sitting in a cell, wondering whether to sign a military contract or not. A typical career path in Putin's Russia. First, you make tanks for the front, and then you end up going to the front yourself. And now let's look at the reality, the typical everyday life of people living in the occupied territories.
Я родилась в городе Горловка, и почему я, идя по своему городу, должна бояться понаехавших людей, которые позволяют и считают нормальным приставать к людям на улице? Я никому не пристаю, и вы, пожалуйста, не приставайте ко мне плохо, меня тошнит. Почему ваши военные части за этим не следят? Почему никто за этим не следит? Почему сейчас такое происходит? Почему я нормально не могу просто пройти, средь бела дня ко мне пристают? Нагло, с матами, еще и угрожают. Я не мясо, я не кусок мяса, я не знаю, откуда они приехали, но пусть ведут себя соответствующе.
Miss, you simply failed to recognize the Russian world. It doesn't arrive with aggression, it arrives with protection. It's just that, for some mysterious reason, after this protection arrives, people start being afraid to walk through their own city, and the law turns into a decorative sign on the door. This is not a banana republic. This is the spiritual, traditional values version, only without the bananas, without the law, and without any sense of safety.
От таких защитников нужна сама защита. И пока наши пацаны лежат на кладбище, которые из Горловки, приезжают такие типы, которые сидят в тылу и не воюют. И творится такой беспредел. И это только начало.
There are three things you can watch forever: fire burning, water flowing, and those in the occupied territories who supported separatism and joining Russia suddenly discovering what that reality actually looks like. Ekaterinburg, a new store with cheap clothes and shoes opened in a shopping mall. By the end of its first day, the descendants of great ancestors had simply trashed the entire sales floor. The U.S. Embassy in Kyiv says it is operating as usual. All claims that American diplomats have been evacuated are fake stories and disinformation pushed by Putin's propaganda. Friends, thank you for being here and for continuing to support me. If you like what I do and want to support the channel, you're welcome to join my Patreon, where for just $3 a month you get access to new videos 24 hours before they go public, posts, polls, and also exclusive videos. For example, one video is about the psychology of Putinism, how resentment, fear, KGB paranoia, and the cult of violence were turned into an entire state religion, one that sends Russians to die in Ukraine. The second is about Russia's black widows, women who marry soldiers and wait for the payout after their deaths. And a third on how the Kremlin gnome sold Russia to China for next to nothing. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who supports me through Buy Me a Coffee. It's thanks to my supporters that I can keep doing this work and keep moving toward my goal, saving up for my education in Europe. If you want to support me in this, I've created a page where I explain in detail how much money I need, what it will be used for, and what you'll receive in return for your help. The link is in the description. If I manage to raise at least half of the total goal, I'll already be able to start preparing the documents for a student visa. Right now, I have 101 incredible patrons. Please, let's hit 105. Not saying goodbye. See you very soon.